Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are going to do some more eco printing. I'm excited about today. I think you're going to have fun with this. So this time what I'm doing is I'm going to use an iron mordant. In the last video we just did these basic eco prints with, oh, that's not an eco print. And this time what I want to do is show you how iron, which is a modifier and a mordant. So a mordant, if you remember, will help attach to the dye to the mordant. So it creates an insoluble bond. And today we're going to use the mordant iron, but iron is also a color modifier. And so it's considered, basically, it'll sadden colors. So a pink will shift to purple, a yellow will shift to more of a green. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how this works. And I did do something a little different today. I've got some eco prints already going that I started about an hour and 45 minutes ago. And that way, when we're done with this, I can just reveal those. So I've picked some plants. These are very similar to what we did last time because I want to be able to compare them with you. So I have some oak leaves, some maple, some birch. Let's see here, I'll bring this up a little. Maple, birch, oak, tulip poplar, the autumn olive, and I've got some coreopsis and some sulfur cosmos, but I also grabbed some of the hybrids. So this is a candy stripe cosmo, and then I also have these coreopsises, which is a hybrid of the original flowers. So I thought, you know what, we'll throw on a couple and see how they work in comparison. But the first thing you're going to do if you want to work with iron is make your iron water. So let's start with that. I'm going to move these out of the way. So I use a mason jar, and you're going to want vinegar. I've got some apple cider vinegar here. That'll be fine. And then water. And you're going to want some rusty pieces. And this is basically going to make sort of it's going to get the iron into the water. So I've got this steel wire, or this wire that's got all this rust on it. So I'm going to throw all of this into my jar. Get all that in there. And, you know, anything rusty. So nails, screws, all of mine aren't rusting because I think they're all coated with that fancy stuff that makes it so they don't rust. And I'm just going to eyeball this. So I'm going to go about half. And that's my vinegar. Any vinegar should work. And I'm going to top that off with water. Now, I will say this. White vinegar is better probably because you can see the shift in the color. But I didn't have any white vinegar. And last time I went to buy some, my store was out, which is weird. So I bought this apple cider. But when the vinegar is clear, if I can get this on, and then I would label this. Definitely label iron water, put your date on it. So if this was clear, when it starts to yellow and get brown, which this is my existing iron water, this was made with clear. So let's see. Can you see that color? So I started with clear, put in my iron parts or my old rusty parts, and then over time it turned this yellow, and that let me know it was ready to work with. So I think that would be easier than the apple cider, because the apple cider already has color, but I wanted to show you how to make it. It was the only vinegar I had. So then we're going to set this jar in a sunny area and let it just do its thing. It'll probably take 2 to 3 weeks before you see that color shift. Another option. Sorry, y'all. Another option. Oh, I don't have it. Okay. is ferrous sulfate, which is the iron crystals. Okay. My goodness. Okay, I'm not seeing it right now. But if you use ferrous sulfate, you're just going to use a small amount of the crystals mixed with the water and topped. So, I'll do another video on that. I should have had that prepared, but I didn't. Okay, so I am going to take I use a baking sheet, and I'm going to pour in, see, can I get you a little further? There we go. I'm going to pour in my rust water, my iron water. I always call it rust water. I don't know why. Excuse me. And it's always a good idea to use gloves. I'm going to admit that I don't really very often. I just wash my hands really well afterwards. But all of this can be a skin irritant. So good idea when you're working with chemicals to use gloves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my paper in. See, my problem is it's really hard for me to use my hands with a glove. So I do try to just use sort of those two fingers. So I dipped it in, and I'm just going to put it back there to sit for a minute. I'm going to dip this one in. So just like we used the alum last time, we're using the iron water as a mordant this time. And you can add this directly to your bath. I add it to my paper. And the reason I add it to my paper is if I have leftover bath solution, I might not want to use it with iron next time. I might want to do something different with it. So I add it to my paper and keep my bath kind of set aside. So there's another one. Let's just do, well, you get the idea. So we're just going to do 5. Okay, so I'm sitting them back here. And these are A4, and I just tore them in half for today's demo. You know, you can do any size paper that you can fit into your vessel that you're going to heat. So I'm going to pour my iron water back in using a funnel. Okay, now this baking sheet and my funnel are now contaminated with iron water. So I'm going to need to wash these. If I use it again for another project and I don't want iron, the iron's going to transfer. So I'm setting these aside to let myself know to clean these up really, really well. And that way I know these are neutral and ready to go for my next project. Okay. So just like last time, I've got 2 tiles. And any size tile that will fit your paper. So everything's just kind of fitting together. And when I do a full A4, I tend to do it in the oven. And at some point, I'll have to try and show you. So I'll use the turkey roasting pan, the big one. And I use my really big tiles. And then I can fold A4 over and fit it in there. Right now, I'm in the workshop. So we're doing them slightly smaller just to make it work. So we're going to take one of our pages here. We'll get this one out of the way. And we're using our gentle fingers. Get our plants. Here are our plants. And let's just have some fun with this. So let's do a tulip poplar. Remember, sun side down seems to have a better imprint. 1, you get better texture. And 2, for whatever reason, I find I get a better eco print rather than the sun side up. The walls of the leaf are thinner back here. So, let's see. Where is our autumn olive? here is our autumn olive. So let's, remember last time we didn't get as good of an imprint with this. So let's see what happens this time. We're just going to do, we're going to, you know what? I'm going to do this. Let's do a whole bunch of it. See if we can get sort of a dramatic. Okay. And let's try one of our candy stripe Cosmos and see what happens. Okay. You know what? I'm going to put the candy stripe Cosmo there. And the tulip poplar here. Okay. Oh, darn. You know what? I'm going to have to... It just occurred to me that I had one going already. So I'm going to have to photograph these and share them once they're done. But I didn't want to let the camera pause this time like last time. So here's our maple leaves. We're just going to do some of these. And let's see, let's do some of the petals. See if we can get some. Okay. Fold that over. Got another one here. Whoop. You know, everyone always wants to know, what's the trick to not tearing your paper? And I'm like, just gentle fingers. That's all it is. Oh, here's our oak. Let's do some oak. Here, we'll do them down low. Do I have a small, you know what? Let's do it like that. Okay. There we go. And I had picked some flowers, and I was sitting here working with them, and I realized that they had some bees on them. I was like, oh no, not the bees. So this is that hybrid Coreopsis, also known as tick seed. And I've got some regular Coreopsis tinctoria. So you know what? We'll put these here. Maybe we'll make this one mostly a flower one. That'll be kind of fun. One here. Got one here. It's, you know, it's just fun to lay them out and decide how you want things. Okay. But I personally like sort of the surprise of the results. And here's some birch. Let's throw some birch on. Okay. Here's another birch. Oh, that one's okay. Do some birch, and let's see. Well, this one will just kind of go crazy. Put the autumn olive. Okay. Okay. So we're going to move the rest of our leaves. And I usually do a pretty big batch when I'm doing this because, well, first of all, I use a lot of them. But secondly, you know, if you're going to use these for junk journals, and you might as well just get a big batch done all at once. Okay, so I'm going to put my second tile of the same size flipped over, and 2 large binder clips. I'm going to place one here and one here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put one here and one here. Okay. So I've got, how am I going to do this? I've got a new crock pot that I'm super excited about. Let's see. It's rectangular. Here, let's see if you can see that. And I'm curious to see if this helps with some of my bigger papers. This is actually my first time using it. So let's just open this up. Okay. It's so fancy. Okay. And all I did was, this was just water that I heated and I threw in my eco print. So this was plain water. There was nothing in it. But the color from the leaves and the flowers leached into the water. So we're going to take this one out because this is the one I'm going to show you the results in. Just let it drip a little bit. We'll throw this one in. And I'm going to let this go for 2 hours minimum. It's not a problem to let it go longer. But I would go at least 2 hours. I find leaves take longer than flowers in general. And some leaves, like pine needles, could take 6 or 7 hours. So, okay. So I'm going to get that out of the way. And let's open these up, which have similar items as the other ones. And that way we can get some results now. And if you like it, you are ready to go. Okay. So I am going to, these already had an iron mordant, so it's not a problem that I've got iron on this. I'm going to unsnap these. And let's see what that iron modifier did. Got these off. I've got my paintbrush and I'm going to pour a little water in here. And that just helps me get everything off. Can I? Okay. Okay. Get that off. Okay. I take them out. Oh, look at that. You can already see the imprint there. And I gently separate them with my gentle, gentle fingers. I'm so excited to show you guys, like, adding a dye bath with the eco prints, because I usually always add a dye bath, but I wanted to start off at the very beginning and work our way up. And that way you're ready to go. Okay. Got that one. And this one. And some of these. I wish I'd thought to do some candy stripes on these too, but I didn't. Oh well. Don't worry, I'll show you guys the ones we put in. I just didn't want... I thought, you know, the cooking channels, they always have the one baking in the oven so you can see the results. And I thought, that's kind of brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? So let's just get these out. Okay, I'm going to move this. Oh, no, I'm not. What am I doing here? Okay, so we're going to need a little more room. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Okay. And, okay. Let's start with this one. Okay, so this one is, ooh, very, very light on this side. Okay, this was the maple. Those came right off. Let's brush it. Do you see how these are like a purpley now? This maple leaves. And we're going to do some contrast. I'm going to show you in a minute. Let's just get them all off first. Okay, set that one aside. This one has got maple. Oh, okay. See this one. We got a tulip poplar. Another tulip poplar. This was an oak, which really didn't do anything. And there is a maple. See. So here's your tulip poplar, your maple. Get these. Okay, let's try a flower one. Here's a flower one. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Here's our maple and our Cosmo. Here's a Coreopsis and a Coreopsis flower petal. Oh, and I just threw a stem on there for fun. Okay. Let's make sure I got all the debris off. Okay. So this is our Coreopsis and our Cosmo. Here's our maple and our stem. Iron reacts with gallic tannins really, really well. So that's this one. Let's get that over here. Okay, what else we got? Got a few. Okay. This is our oak leaf, which again didn't do much at all. Here is our, and if you decide like, oh, these need something more, throw these after you're done into a tea dry bath. In fact, maybe I'll do that and show you the results. And it just gives that paper a little pretty. Okay. So it's darkening all of the colors. Ooh, this one's interesting. I like that. Okay. Here we go. Got this one. Okay. Oh, I just wanted to show you that real quick. Hold on. So, did you see how this, I just pulled this leaf off. And it was here. Look how I didn't get much of a print there. See it? But look at that print. And that was the backside. So that just really kind of highlights what I was trying to share. Okay, I'm going to use my wet paintbrush on this one. Don't tear. Didn't tear. Yay. Soft fingers. See, and that would be a really pretty page in a junk journal because it's framed so nicely. Okay. This one, I just did some flower petals. And, you know, I always recommend doing an iron bath on your pieces, especially the ones that you know you're going to use regularly. Like if you have a, I don't know, maple tree. Because there's going to be a time where you decide you want these colors. And if you do, look at that, that's cool. And if you do a print and then you just kind of keep a copy of that information, you'll be aware, you'll know, like, oh, okay, I know this is what I get. Okay, let's see. Again, these were the faces. This, oh, look at that tulip poplar. Wow. Oh, I tore it. See? I tore it. So there's our tulip poplar. See how we got more of an olivey green, yellow, and then our maple leaf again. We've only got a couple more, and then we'll do some compare and contrast, because I think that will really help. Okay. There's more of our tulip poplar. That one's cool too. I like that. Here. Isn't that pretty? I hope you're getting enough light. Huh. Let's try that. Is that more light? Okay. This is the birch. Yeah, that's so funny because I really felt like I got more from the birch earlier this season. Okay. Got some flower petals on here. Okay. And not. We got two more. Sorry, I guess I did quite a few earlier. You know what? We'll leave that one since it's not got much. Let's do this one. Okay, not a lot. Oh, we got the maple over here. Okay. Okay. So, that is these. And let's do a little comparison. Okay. Now, remember, these are wet and our others are dry. So I'm going to pull out a few that I feel like will, okay. Here's those. Okay. These are the ones we did last time. So we had, look at this here. Let's get this out of the way. See that dark orange? Look at the brightness in this orange. And then the dark, the sadder colors in that. Here's our Cosmo. Cosmo and Cosmo. So brighter here, dark and sad over here. That's what they call it, saddening the color. So instead of this bright orange, we're getting this sort of brownish orange. And look at the maple. Let's see, do we have a, here's a maple. See the maple there is a bright yellow, and look at that reddish purple. That's how it reacted with that iron bath. Completely different. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Here's our tulip poplar. This is with no iron. This is with the iron mordant. So, yeah, so you really get some different colors. And it's really fun to play with. Now, I want to do one more thing with you, just for fun. Let's see. Okay, let me dump this out real quick. Here's my water. Or here's my baking sheet. Okay, here's our iron water. Give it a really good shake. And this bath, it's a little old. It might be. Let's see if we get additional color shifts. So here's our iron water. Let's see. So is it getting more dramatic? I see a shift. Let's try this red one. Okay, here it is. Okay. So I see a subtle shift. Excuse me. One more. Let's see. Let's try this one with the flower petals. So kind of a really dark orange. Definitely seeing a color shift, but it's a very light one. Okay. Definitely darkened up. Now, what if we take one that we did last time? Okay, let's do this one. We've got maple here and Cosmo there. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna get in there. Let's see. Just leave that for a minute. Give me 1 sec. Okay, are we seeing any shift there? I see some browns came out here. We got some olives and a slightly darker. But that could also be because it's now wet. So this is what an iron bath will do, is it's going to shift your colors and make them sad. And I really hope that I'm going to put them side by side one more time just so you get a really good feel. Here's, here's the orange and maple. No, that's not maple. This is the Cosmo. So here's our Cosmo here. And this is our tulip poplar. Oh, wow. Look at what happened with this one. We threw this back in the iron water. Look. There's our tulip poplar. Here, you know what? Let me take you down. Okay. So, there's our tulip poplar there. Okay. Okay, well, if you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe, and I will have another video on eco printing Friday. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I respond to everything. Or even if you just want to tell me, you know, I wish you'd shown this or whatever. I love the feedback. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.